Hello, book lovers, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, I'm Beth, this is Andana, and this is Ten, and welcome to Boo's Book Nook. If you haven't already guessed, this video is all about dragons. Dragons are my favourite magical creature that are featured in fantasy novels. Put a dragon in a book and I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to read it, I'm going to buy it. I just love them. There is a wealth of different dragon novels out there where they have dragon as the main feature, but also where they have dragons as a sprinkling throughout, a little surprise in the books. In this video, I'm going to give you a range of different series or standalone books that have dragons in them, whether the sole focus is dragons or they have a small appearance of dragons in them. These are some of my favourites. And do remember, while we're here, this is my opinion. These are my favourite dragon books. And I know there are so many out there. I haven't read them all. But if you do have any other dragon books, do let me know down in the comments because I would love to pick them and read them if I haven't already. And I just want to know your opinions, really. Without further ado, let's get on to the first book. We're going to start off with a book series that has a sprinkling of dragons throughout. They are not a main feature, but when they do come up, they're adorable. So adorable. And that is the Harry Potter series by She Who Should Not Be Named. I'm not going to go into the controversy and the horrible things that this person has done, but if you're intrigued, please have a look online and educate yourself. Remember, it's my opinion. I don't want any arguments. But yes, I'm just seeing this as a standalone series that has no author. This series, it is gorgeous. I love the world of Harry Potter and Hogwarts and all things magical. It's very nostalgic because it was a thing of my childhood and I grew up with the films when they came out as well. And so it had to be mentioned. The dragons are not a main feature of this, and I've specifically chosen this one, the Goblet of Fire, and I do have to apologise for the Hufflepuff colours. I'm not a Hufflepuff, the husband is a Hufflepuff, I am a Ravenclaw, so don't come at me for the Hufflepuff yellow. Disgusting, I know. But this book follows a series of challenges that happen, and there is a challenge that involves a series of different breeds of dragon, and it's wonderful, and I really enjoy seeing the different dragons and the descriptions about them, and it's just really nice. And as I said, there are dragons sprinkled in the other books as well. At one point, Hagrid gets a little dragon called Norbert. So cute. If you've seen the films, you will know, but the books obviously are better than the films. There is so much more in these books than they've put in the film, so I definitely recommend. But yes, as I said, not crazily dragon heavy, but I wanted to give it a little honourable mention to start off. So that's going on the list of dragon books. One that I have read recently is A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan, and this was really sweet. I gave this a 3 stars overall. Not my favourite book, but I really enjoyed the dragon part. I would say this is very, very similar to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. It is so similar in the whole sciencey research type thing, whereas she's researching fairies. Lady Trent in this book is researching dragons, and she goes out with a group where they shoot down and unalive some dragons so she can dissect and learn about the dragons, the science behind them, their behaviors, etc. So we do see a lot of in-depth knowledge and the science around different dragons and what they do, but it's very cozy. Not a lot happens. It's not very plot heavy. The characters are likable, but they're not my favourite, but I did really like the dragons in this. It just did broke my heart when they had to unalive some of the dragons. I wish they could keep them alive, but it was interesting nonetheless. I did find it quite tricky to get into, but I found the same with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. So I would definitely say if you loved that book, you will 100% love this book. They are so similar. There is a series of these, but I've only read the first one. But I would definitely give it a read if that sounds up your alley. My next is a series that you are probably shouting at the screen right now because when you hear dragons, you think this series. It is a very recent series to be released, and that is the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. And this is Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. And there are more to come. This series follows Violet Sorrengail, who is forced to become a dragon rider by her mother, who is General of the Dragon Riders. Yes. So she goes to attend Basgiath Academy where she learns to become a dragon. Because there are only 2 ways out of this academy. To ride or to die. There's a lot of unaliving in this book. It is fast paced, it is thrilling. There are sassy, sassy dragons. And that's where I got the names of these two dragons. So I've got Ten, the black dragon here, who is a dragon in Fourth Wing, who is the most sassy, grumpy dragon I've ever met. And I love him. He is my favourite dragon ever. I want him to be my dragon. He's just so funny and witty. And then you have Andana, who is the small little golden dragon here, who is also a main character in this book, and she's stunning. She's so good. She goes from a little child to a teenager, and you see all those different bits. So this is very heavily dragon focused, and there is a love interest, a love triangle. There is spice sprinkled in this. And I do say, out of the three so far, this one was my favourite. Another thing to note is that Rebecca Yarros is not the perfect writer. There are plot holes, there are inconsistencies, there are things that have not been edited correctly in these books. Also in Iron Flame, I noticed. So it's not perfect, but I still love this. As I have said before, a 5-star book is one that makes me feel. I am engaged, I laugh, I cry, I am invested in the characters and the story, and it gives me all those feelings. That is a 5-star. So it doesn't have to be perfectly written. I can forgive it if it's giving me those feelings, which is why I did give this book a 5-star, because despite the inconsistencies and the errors, it was fantastic. I loved it, and I absolutely binged it. It's a big chunky book. The whole series is quite big and chunky, and it was brilliant. And Rebecca Yarros knows how to do a twist. Did not expect that twist at the end. I also cried in this book a lot. If you know, you know. But brilliant. If you're looking for all things dragon, romantasy, spice, then this book is for you. It is not crazy on the high fantasy, so if you're looking for just a high fantasy novel, this might not be your cup of tea. It's really enjoyable, and as I said, the rest of the series is good. There is a new one supposedly being written, but who knows when that's going to come out. Apparently she's taken a bit of a break, so we've got a bit of age. I think we might have another Sarah J Maas on our hands. Sorry, not sorry. But yes, I'd recommend. I think I've said that about 1,200 times, but yeah, love it, love it. Although I don't love the covers. Sorry. Moving onwards, we have another classic that has just a little sprinkling, a little appearance of dragons, but I couldn't not include it, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Stunning. I don't have many words for this, because if you don't know this book series, where have you been? Because The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings are iconic. They are the epitome of fantasy, and I think they paved the way for fantasy. I mean, I definitely made that up, and I don't know if that's the truth, but incredible. This was written in the 30s, 1930s, or at least it was published in 1937, so it paved the way for fantasy. It's incredible. This man is a genius at world building and creating language. Just incredible. And this book follows Bilbo, who is the name of my cat. It follows Bilbo, who is a hobbit, and he is drafted by Gandalf to help a group of dwarves in reclaiming a bit of land and castle that once was theirs. So they go on a journey together, and they do meet a dragon called Smaug, and he is an evil dragon. He is very evil. I do have to say that the book is a lot more condensed and smaller than the films. The films have been dragged out into 3 separate films, and so you get a lot more story and plot with the dragon compared to this, but I'd still say I'd recommend it as a book that has dragons in it, because A, it's The Hobbit, and B, there are dragons in it, and it's a good story. But yeah, there's evil dragons in this one. As I said, J.R.R. Tolkien, he just writes gorgeously, and just the world. The world is fantastic, and all the different magical creatures. So if you're looking for a higher fantasy with an array of different magical creatures from all different lands and different languages and world building, go for this. And the bonus is there are dragons. Definitely give this one a read. Next, we have one of my most recent favourite dragon books, and that is this, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This was an unexpected, gorgeous read. I saw this everywhere when it first came out, all over TikTok, all over Instagram, and I'm always a bit skeptical because it's very hit and miss for the ones that I see on there. But this hit. this hits so hard. And of course, it involves dragons, beautiful dragons. The lore in this behind dragons and how they hatch and how they become alive and what happens when they die is stunning. I love it. It is gorgeous. And I don't know if that's drawn on from like legends or myths or something, but Sarah O. Parker using that is just so clever. I love it. And this involves a main character who is an assassin. And she goes on a bit of a journey. She gets imprisoned and then she's rescued. And she goes on a bit of a journey with another character. There is a bit of a love interest. There is action, there's fighting, there are dragons. It's gorgeous. I gave this one a 5 stars because, once again, the feelings. There is a sprinkling of spice in this one as well, so it's definitely a romantasy. It is not crazy, crazy high fantasy, but it has got some solid world building. Not my favourite world building. I love the quote in it that says, "Broken things make the sharpest weapons." It's just stunning, and I love the thought of a white dragon, and I feel like I need to get a white dragon to add to my Jellycat collection of dragons. I need more in my life. But yeah, absolutely stunning. I would 100% recommend this one if you haven't read it already. Finally, we're going to end with yeah, I'm going to say it, my most favorite series that is high fantasy, including dragons. Have you guessed what it is? Yeah, it is The Prior of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and then you have the sequel, A Day of Fallen Knights, which actually occurs before this book in time, but was written afterwards. It's stunning. It is a chunky book, got over 800 pages, but this is Lord of the Rings, but female version. Female empowerment. The women in this book are helping save the kingdom. Queendom. Brilliant. It is, as it says on the back, a feminist Lord of the Rings. And I totally agree. It is very high fantasy. There are multiple kingdoms, multiple magical creatures. You have dragon riders, you have dragons, you have different laws which are intermingled, you have different POVs. As I said, it's a high fantasy, so you have the politics. You find out more about the queendoms and the laws behind it, and it's so interesting. I loved it, and it did not feel like 800 pages because I loved it so much. I also really enjoyed the characters we find in this, the story and the plot. It kept me engaged, and Samantha Shannon is a genius at world building. Not quite on J.R.R. Tolkien's level, but I will accept it as second best. If you are looking for a high fantasy that focuses on that high fantasy, magical creatures, and has dragons in them, this one, I'd recommend this series forever and a day. And I know it's intimidating, it being this long, but I tell you it's worth it. And this one has actually got some sapphic romance in it. Beautiful, gorgeous, fantasy of dreams, my favourites. If there was a series you were going to choose to read out of all the ones I've given you today, I'd say this one. Do it. But I know high fantasy isn't for everyone, so go for a romance if not. There you have it. Those are my dragon recommendations for you. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these and what you thought of them. And remember, be kind, be kind. It is all opinionated, and there are so many dragon books out there that I have inevitably missed some great ones. But these are the ones that I had on my shelves that came to mind when I thought dragons, and I love them. I will forever love dragons. So if you do have any more dragon recommendations, please let me know in the comments because I need to add them to my TBR immediately. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed finding out about the dragon books that I love. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure you click that notification bell so you never miss a video of mine. And I will see you very soon for another one. Bye! How you doing, guys?